posted a post that has seemingly woken up all the, let's say, anti-Americans in America. That's how I'm going to use that term and say that term. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do a deep dive into this and do my due diligence. So I know that I'm saying something that I mean, and I mean what I say. So I woke up after each night this past weekend after I posted that specific tweet on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. And basically, I'm going to read it, what I posted. If anyone says they stand with Ukraine, you should go there and help fight Russia, end quote. That's all I wrote. I wrote that on there on a tweet on Facebook. And I just want to be clear for clarity that the president of Ukraine, Zelenskyy, showed up to our Oval Office. All right. Now, this is equivalent to the homies from the hood on this side going to a hood on this side. And the rumors were we're going to sit down and have a peace treaty talk. We're going to try to end all the gun violence in the hood, which I was a part of in the late 80s, early 90s. I've been in those situations. I've seen it happen. And then some shit jumps off because you came over there disrespecting and talking that shit. This is the same shit. This is what happened. Zelenskyy came over to our hood and sat in our house and literally did not address President Trump or Vice President Vance as Mr. Vice President, Mr. President. He was calling them by their first name. I just want to be clear, okay? J.D. Vance, however, said to him, Mr. President, I think it's very disrespectful that you came into our place. He called him Mr. President several times. Go watch the video. But this man who went into our Oval Office, literally, if you didn't listen, and I'm trying to get into why nobody understands and listen to this whole thing. This man said our oceans are beautiful, but won't be beautiful soon. That's all I need to hear, homie. And all the drama out here by everybody that's mad at Trump. You didn't listen to that and you call Trump disrespectful? So let me get this straight. I want to be really clear here. You guys in America who are American, that are mad at Trump, who are advocating for Ukraine, want our sitting president to be a bitch. Please, is that what I'm hearing? That's what I want. That's what I want to make sure you want. You want our president, our sitting president, to basically be a bitch. Bend over, say, all right, Mr. Zelenskyy, Mr. Midget. By the way, who's already taken priority from the last administration over North Carolina, California, and Hawaii. Yeah, a hurricane and 2 fires. By the way, South Carolina is on fire right now. Let's see how Trump handles that versus how Biden handled North Carolina. But when it comes to assistance, you've already had priority over California, Hawaii, and North Carolina, Mr. Zelenskyy. So I just want to be clear. We want a bitch in our White House. That's what you want. You want a straight up bitch. But it makes sense with this generation. Let me tell you something. The hardest motherfuckers on this planet right now are 50-year-old plus aged men who are former military. I just want you to let that sink in. The hardest motherfuckers on this planet are 50-year-old plus men who served in our military. So just let that sink in. You can figure that out and go sit down afterwards and figure out, what does JB mean by that? Why don't you go do the math and figure it out? So let me dive into this real quick so I can get Smitty in here. Well, since I posted this, I got a bunch of friends. And this is why I wanted to do this. A bunch of friends who are mad over what I said, over what Trump and Vance did to Zelenskyy in the Oval Office last Friday. I need everyone to please listen. And if you don't want to hear my takes on this, move on, come back when we start talking sports, like I said. But I need to do this for my own self. That's why I did this deep dive. I need to do it for my own family and all the Americans who served to keep these same critics who are now criticizing our president safe from these countries that we are going to speak of, which is ironic. Make it make sense, all right? Number one, the millions of illegals who were ushered in through the borders. You said nothing whatsoever. But you're mad at Trump for disrespecting Zelenskyy in our Oval Office. Number two, when they abandoned $7 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan, you said nothing. When they flaunted a two-tier justice system, one for them and one for everyone else, you said fucking nothing. When they covered up Hunter Biden's laptop, you said nothing. When they passed a $1 trillion infrastructure bill that failed miserably, you asked or said nothing. When inflation crushed the middle class from a fake virus they created, you said nothing. When your homie small business in the hood got shut down, you said or did nothing. Just being clear, right? When billions upon billions of our tax-paying dollars went over to Ukraine, you said nothing. When chemicals polluted our rivers in Ohio, you ignored it. And when a hurricane hit North Carolina, the affected homeowners got $750. You said absolutely fucking nothing. When Americans were raped, murdered, and robbed by illegals, you said or did nothing. When they implemented an implant named Kamala Harris as presidential candidate who didn't earn one fucking vote prior, you did absolutely nothing. You said nothing. When the Democrats are hurting so bad that Stephen A. Smith is the next Democratic candidate, you still say fucking nothing. When anti-American George Soros funded dozens of AG election campaigns, you said nothing. When they turned our classrooms into a liberal learning indoctrination annex, which taught our boys how to become girls and girls how to become boys, you said absolutely fucking nothing. When they literally spent our tax dollars on inmates' transition surgeries, you said nothing. When Hawaii fire victims got $700 fucking dollars and illegal immigrants got a $5,000 debit card and a right to vote for a president in a country they aren't even native to, you said nothing. When they came after our free speech, you said nothing. When they made fucking Pride Month more important than Black History Month, you fucking said nothing. Yet you defend Ukraine, who are snatching kids off the street, and by the way, hate fucking black people. But you say nothing. When they gave money and free lodging to illegal immigrants in New York, Chicago, Denver, and California, you said nothing. When DEI hires weakened our military beyond fucking belief and put our national security at risk, you said nothing. When the media colluded with Democratic politicians to report fake reports during campaigns, you said nothing. When they covered up Biden's health and never answered where he was when Kamala took over, you all said nothing. When 300,000 migrant children went missing and nobody said shit, you asked or said nothing. When men were celebrated for being women, you did or said nothing. Before we traded a basketball player for the largest arms dealer in the fucking world, you were so loud. But 50 intelligence agent lied on tape to cover up Hunter Biden's fucking laptop, you said nothing. When they cleaned the fucking streets of San Francisco right here in California one day prior to China's president showing up, and the next day the homeless return and San Francisco becomes a shithole, you said or did nothing. When Governor Newsom bought a $14 million fucking house on a $200,000 a year income, you said nothing. But when American citizens who served this country were homeless, you did and said nothing. When Americans were taken hostage and held for a whole fucking year in Gaza, you said nothing. When they burned American flags in a city near you, you did nothing. When Fauci was caught lying and killing off millions only to gain generational wealth, you said nothing. When y'all loved Donald Trump before he was a president, and now that he is president, you love another country over your own. But what do I know?